What's up, you guys? These are Shogun Flex electronic resistance cable units. They run on a rechargeable battery, and I use them a lot for exercises that require me to have something over my head that I couldn't normally do with a normal cable machine or elastic bands. The exercises I'm going to show you can be done with cable machines if you can somehow modify your position so that once you are underneath your cables or your handles here, when you position yourself, the machine itself is not in your way. If you can do that, great. So you don't need these to do what I'm about to show you, but I'm just going to these for me have worked out really well because if I'm at home or even at my gym, I can place them anywhere above me on a pull-up bar, and I have a lot of free space around me to do what I want to do. I like to do as many exercises as I can standing because that's the way life seems to challenge me. What's up, Mark? And so I'm going to show you a few of the things I like to do with these, okay? First one is what I call an external rotation press down. It's not the prettiest name, but it's kind of self-descriptive. It looks like this. I hook my thumbs into the handles so the cables are underneath my forearms, and then I'll step in front of the machines a little bit because when I go like this and I allow the cables to pull me into internal rotation, right here, the farther I am out in front of it, the longer the lever of my forearm is acting on the external rotators, which are going to now bring me back to this position here. So I can really isolate. And for me, this position is extremely weak. I have a lot of trouble internally rotating from, so let me demonstrate. I'm limited in external rotation in like this goalpost position, but I'm probably more limited in internal rotation in this scarecrow position right here. Like for me to get my arms behind me sometimes, it's very restricted, and on my right shoulder, which has had some surgery, it's a little sore. So the external rotator muscles here that bring me back from this position, as I get them stronger, I'm able to now go into internal rotation a little easier and with more confidence if the reciprocal external rotator muscles are strong enough to bring me back from that position or protect me if I go into this position too hard or with too much force, okay? So once again, these are only set to 15 pounds. Very lightweight. I don't need a lot of weight for this. I can't handle a lot of weight for this. Okay, so I've got the cables underneath my forearms. I step forward a little bit, bend forward, and then I'm going to focus on my upper arms being the axis of rotation, trying to stretch me as far as I can into internal rotation. And then I'm now going to externally rotate just right in here. And this is a powerful movement. Now, you might be thinking, well, why not just do this same thing standing? And just set up a cable machine so you're standing and doing a similar movement. My only answer to that is to try it yourself. I've tried that, I've thought of that, and honestly, I thought it sucked because I don't know. Just give it a try yourself. And if it works for you, super happy. But the main thing is the concept at play here is being able to bring myself into a strong resisted internal rotation and then using all these external rotators on the back to return from that position. So the press down part, I was just demonstrating the actual external rotation component. It's real easy. So from here, I'm gonna set myself forward. I'm gonna try to make a 90-degree angle in my body. Once again, I'm using the upper arms as a axis of rotation and trying to letting the cable stretch me as far as I can into internal rotation. Then I'm gonna externally rotate. And then once I've returned from that internally rotated position, I'm just gonna press straight down. And then from here, internal rotation, gonna fire the external rotators to bring me back, and then integrate the press movement. It's just a nice finish. Helps me to reset those tired external rotators and also connect them to a functional movement pattern. Once again, right here, just letting it bring me up, externally rotating, pushing down, and then finishing up. Okay. And while I have these set up, I'm gonna show you one more exercise I like to do with these things over my head. It's a single arm iron cross. And what I'm gonna show you, once again, you don't need these. You could do it seated on a bench under a cable machine. But so let me show you how this works. If there's an app that controls these devices, so it is currently set at 15 pounds. I'm gonna bring it up to 20 pounds, and that's it. The units have already set or increased the resistance load. So I'm just gonna go to the full length of my arm, come forward slightly. I'm gonna settle myself into my legs. I'm gonna now use the right lateral core. I'm gonna get double X, extended spine, expanded rib cage. From here, I'm pressing down with my obliques to do this. I'm also getting a lot of the muscles that connect to the underside of my shoulder into the armpit, the lats, subscapularies, because oftentimes we spend a lot of energy strengthening the muscles that are on top of the shoulder, but we'll sometimes forget or miss the muscles underneath the shoulder, and that a lot of the muscles that connect into the armpit area. Okay, so by settling into my legs, I'm able to recruit my core much stronger than if I just stand here, because basically if I stand up straight, I can just kind of lean, whereas if I'm here, I can't. I'm also getting just, a little bit of static exercise or work for my legs. Okay? So, then once again, we're just gonna switch the handle, come over to this side. Same thing, I'm just gonna go to the full lever of my arm. Gonna settle into my legs a little bit, so I can't, if I'm standing, I can lean. If I settle into my legs like so, now I can focus on locking down on the left lateral core, because basically this handle wants to lift or tilt my rib cage up and away from my hip. So I have to now fix that space, that distance, isometrically with the obliques and quadratus lumborum and other lateral core musculature. And then once I've locked down the platform of my rib cage, I can now fire the lats, subscapularies, even to a degree, the pectoralis muscles, and strengthen all the muscles that lead up and into my armpit area. So just a few of those. Okay. I'm going to reattach this handle here. With 20 pounds, I'm now going to go in one more set on the external rotation press down. So I've got the cables situated underneath my forearms. I dropped my thumbs into the handles to get these cables underneath my forearms. Now I'm going to step forward, bend at 90 degrees. I'm in a basically a bench press position with my arms, and from this position, I'm gonna let these cables stretch me and bring me into as much internal rotation as I can handle. And then from here, I'm gonna fire my external rotators to return from that position, carry through with a press down, and then once again, right here, getting that big stretch, firing the external rotators, and then pressing through. One more time. Just getting that big stretch. Like I said, if you want to try the same thing, standing up, cable handle here, and do that, I'm not going to say it doesn't work, but I can't focus on that external rotation and use as much weight standing as I can with the cables coming from above. So, but yeah, like I said, you don't need these necessarily. And if you're thinking elastic bands, I hope you have better luck with that than I have. To me, elastic bands on this, they suck. But in concept, they would work. Okay, one last time on the single arm iron cross. I don't know if I'm holding this properly in front of the camera, but we'll see. Okay, so I'm gonna bring that up to 30 pounds, okay? Final set. Okay, once again, I'm gonna set myself off to the side so I'm at the full lever of my arm. I'm gonna settle into my legs so I can't lean on this thing right here. Fixing my lateral core using my obliques and quadratus lumborum and this other lateral core musculature to fix the distance between my rib cage and my hip. Then from here, I can now fire the lats, the pecs, subscapularies, and whatever other muscles help me do this. Strengthening and reinforcing my shoulder from underneath, balancing out all the strength and in training we do up in the upper part of the shoulder. And just one more time. Cool. Okay, coming over to this side. So again, just gonna stand off here. I'm at the full lever of my arm, settling into my leg so I can't lean on this handle to get it down. Using my obliques, quadratus lumborum, associated lateral core musculature to lock the distance between my rib cage and my hip. Once I've done that, I can now fire lats, subscapularies, pectoralis, and once again, whatever other muscles help me to do this. Also didn't mention I'm standing harder on my left leg. I'm trying to actually keep a lot of weight off the right leg. Sorry, that's kind of an important concept. Let me illustrate on this side. So, I'm at the full lever of my arm. I'm gonna settle into my legs. I'm gonna lift the heel of this foot because I'm actually basing on my right leg, even though it's my left side that's doing this. Extended spine, expanded rib cage, locking my rib cage to my hip with my lateral core. And then using all the lats, pecs, subscap, strengthening and reinforcing my shoulder from underneath. One more time. Okay. All right. So that's it. If you're still here, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. I hope this